you just...
I'll do that for you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hi, thanks you.
Welcome to our children. My name is Beverly Gilchrist. I'm the host of the show. But today I would like to introduce you to Miss Denise Gordon, who is the founder of Parent Empowerment Services. And she will be the co-host. And you will see her in the future as guest host. Okay?
Thank you.
Hi, Denise.
Miss Beverly, it's been so great. First of all, I want to say thanks to you, and I'm looking forward to today talking to parents and teachers and students, and we'll take it from there.
Oh, good. That's good. Good subject.
Thank you. Do you remember minutes ago, I call her Miss Beverly out of respect, but I call her Bev also.
Right.
So would you allow me to call you Bev today?
Call me Bev, please.
Okay. A minute ago, what Bev did was she introduced you to me to you, the audience. And so I want to ask parents today, what have you told the teacher about your child? Isn't that important?
Very.
It's a brand new audience, and you saw fit to say, this is Denise Gordon from Parent Empowerment Services, and you told them a bit about me. So the time is short, and you know I'm a talkaholic, and we love to talk when we were together. Now we're talking to a brand new audience. I want to share with you something that I've done. And it's a letter that I sent to my child's teacher. And I encourage parents to send letters to teachers, letters of introduction. Maybe after the first month of school, you may ask the child, what do you like about Miss Jackson? What do you like? Tell me something funny about Miss Jackson. My daughter Sarah, and I've done this all the way through my children's education. My daughter Sarah said about her teacher, her French teacher, she said, and he wears a funny bow tie. So in the note I said, Sarah said you wore the bow tie and you reminded of her grandfather. Sarah never had a problem with that teacher for the entire school year. So this is a letter that I did. It's a note that I want to read to parents. It says, Dear Miss Kotlaski, the teacher's name was Mr. Kotlaski, but for disclosure purposes, it says, I would like to take the time to welcome you to a new school year. Mrs. Denise Gordon, my child Rebecca, is in your 4th grade class this year. I anticipate a wonderful school year. Rebecca is ready and prepared to learn. My daughter is to give you the utmost respect, and I'm sure you'll do the same. She's not an introvert, so expect a conversationalist because she talks a lot. Okay, she reads for an hour every day because you know that no matter what, I just want you to read out loud. And it says she has a tendency to be very opinionated. We contribute that to her desire to one day sit in the Supreme Court. We have great expectations for Rebecca, and we also are aware of the impact you would have on my child's life. Please feel free to call us, our telephone number, our address, etc. What we did was to set a foundation for that teacher. We allow that teacher to know what our expectations are for our child. And so if a parent will take the time, just a minute, just to say something about your child. Say thank you, because thank you is very important. It's very important for us to return thanks. Just thank the teacher whether you like them or not. But it's just the first week of school, first weeks or first month of school. Your child should be able to say something that they enjoy about that teacher. And so you're starting on a good foundation. 99% of the chance the teacher would respond to you and simply say, I enjoy Rebecca, I enjoy Beverly. Maybe Beverly is a bit introverted. So as an introvert, I would recommend you do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Then we can correspond again. Well, perhaps you may want to make Beverly your monitor or your helper, a class monitor. And that's where we start. It's very important. Do you remember, I'm not sure if you, and I know you're going to allow me to do all the talking.
Yes, I am.
Do you remember, I'm not sure if you might have known this or you might have been, you may have gone to, or a child may have gone to a grandma's house or an auntie's house or a next door neighbor's house or the child may have been a pregnancy the mom may not have wanted, or whatever the case may be, or a normal household. And that parent will say, a parent is angry at that child, or that person that's in parental control. You're going to be just like that, no good. You know, I have no, that's it. Girl, boy, I'm not going to say anything. And you see all of that. And then you remember the little thing that we learn as children, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words would never fail. That's not really true. Because you obviously came up from a very good, supportive household, family. But can you imagine the parent that's listening to us right now?
Yes, I understand what you're saying, because there's many times I've witnessed this just walking down the street.
Yeah.
And a parent would be talking to a little toddler and talking about, oh, how stupid are you? That's terrible. And my heart hurts for that.
You're acting just like you're no good father. You know, you're going to end up in jail. I have nothing. The worst parts are the ones, the grandmothers, the individuals say, I have nothing to, I know what you're going to end up being like. So my view on parental engagement is, if someone can actually say what you're going to be like, and it's all negative, how about if we turn that around?
Right.
And make it positive for our children? How about if we tell our children, you know what, Sarah, you can be whatever you set your mind to be.
That's right.
Isabel, I know you're going to do great things in life. And Isabel says, Auntie Denise, how do you know that? Oh, I know that because you are fearfully and you're wonderfully made. There's no one like you in this entire world, Isabel. And you start putting that, it's deposit. We deposit that into our children's lives. It's almost like going to a bank. It's a banking system. What we do, we deposit money into a bank, because one day we will have a withdrawal.
Yes.
So what do we deposit in the lives of our children? It matters. It matters so much that I want to share. You know, I love flowers and I love wine, but we can't have wine right now, so I love poetry. So I want to read something to you, and maybe the teachers that are looking today can get a glimpse as to what our expectations are, how we can partner together with our children, the homeschool connection, because the teachers and the parent coordinators and those that are in the school, they'll get a chance to see our children for a longer period of time than we would as parents. So someone sent me a wonderful story that I just want to read to you, and then we can talk. Can we do that? Okay, yes, wonderful. Sure. It's called A Letter from Teddy, and it's I'm looking for a teacher. I'm looking for a teacher, and you know, we believe that parents are the children's first educators. So parents are that first teachers. And parents, you've got to look at yourself, you've got to believe, you've got to know that no one knows your children's propensities more than you do.
Right.
And you want the best for your child. So here it goes. It's about on June 4th, 1940, Winston Churchill spoke before the House of Commons, which is like our House of Congress or so on, about the influence of a teacher on a student's life. The student name was Teddy Stollard. Says, Teddy certainly qualifies as the least common, special ed, whatever you might want to call it. Disinterested in school, musty, wrinkled clothing, hair never combed. One of those kids in school with a deadpan face, expressionless, sort of glossy stare. When Miss Thompson, his teacher, spoke to Teddy, he always answered monosyllables. Unattractive, unmotivated, and distant. He was just that plain hard to like. Even though his teacher said she loved all the students, she knew that was not really true. Even though she would convince herself and even convince the principal how important all of her children were, she knew that was not true. She didn't like them all the same. Down inside, she knew that there's something was completely untruthful about what she said. Whenever she marked Teddy's paper, she had a flair in marking X next to the things that were wrong. And she had Teddy's record. She knew about this student. She knew more than she wanted to know. The record read, in first grade, Teddy shows promise with his work and attitude, but poor home situation. In the second grade, Teddy could do better, she said. Mother is seriously ill. He received little help at home. Now, when Teddy went to the 3rd grade, Teddy's a good boy, but too serious. He's a slow learner. His mother died this year. In 4th grade, Teddy is slow but well-behaved. His father shows no interest. Christmas came and all the boys and girls in Miss Thompson's class brought Christmas gifts to Miss Thompson. They put all the gifts on the table, and Teddy's gift was wrapped in a brown paper with Scotch tape. On the paper were written these simple words: "For Miss Thompson, from Teddy." When she opened Teddy's present, out fell a gaudy rhinestone bracelet with half the stones missing and a bottle of cheap cologne. The other boys and girls started to laugh, but Miss Thompson was a little bit smart, because what she did, she put the perfume on her hand and she said, hi, and all the kids, of course, they mimic what she did. At the end of the day, when school was over and the other children had gone home, Teddy lingered behind, and he came over to Miss Thompson's desk. He says, Miss Thompson, you smell just like my mother, and a bracelet looks great on you, and I'm so glad you like my present. When Teddy left, Miss Thompson asked for forgiveness. The next day, when all the children came back to school, they were all welcome, and we saw a brand new teacher, a new person in Miss Thompson. Years have went by, and Miss Thompson didn't hear from Teddy for a long while. Then one day she received a note that read, "Dear Miss Thompson, I want you to be the first to know that I will be graduating 2nd in my class. Love, Teddy Stallard." 4 years went by. In another note, then it says, "Dear Miss Thompson, they just told me that I will be graduating 1st in my class. And I want you to be the first to know the university has not been easy, but I like it. Love, Teddy Stallard." And 4 years later, dear Miss Thompson, as of today, I am Teddy Stallard, MD.
Wow.
How about that?
Yes.
I want you to be the first to know I'm getting married on the 27th, to be exact. And I just want you to come and sit where my mother would have sat. You're the only family I have. Dad died last year. Love, Teddy Stallard. Miss Thompson went to that wedding and sat where Teddy's mother would have sat. She deserved to be there. She had done something for Teddy that he could never do for himself. I'm looking for a teacher.
That goes to show you what kindness can do.
Absolutely.
You know, and caring, you know.
I got to get some water.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Teddy was picked on for a long time. Yeah. He lost his parents. But one bit of kindness means a lot to a child, especially. And now he turned out to be a doctor.
MD, yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. So
great story.
It isn't beautiful.
Oh,
and
yes.
usually I'm not sorry.
Would you like me to pat you?
I'm not on the crying side at all.
Yes.
But you know how many Teddy Stallards are out there.
Yes, many.
And the difference teachers can make.
Right.
I read the letter also to my daughter's teacher. That was when Rebecca was in the 4th grade.
Oh, my goodness.
Now you want to take a guess where Rebecca is right now? Don't guess. I'm glad you asked.
Tell me.
She's in law school.
Oh, isn't that something?
What Mr. Kotlasky did, Paul Kotlasky, wherever you are, I want to say thank you. I'm a mess right now. I'm a mess. I'm a mess, but that's okay. What Mr. Kotlasky said, he called us in, and he said, in Africa, children would speak 3 to 4 languages. In China, they'll do the same. In America, they're taught to speak 1. That's if they can speak it properly. In my class, the children are expected to read at least 100 books per year in my 4th grade class.
Okay.
He says, I'm not going to have problems. He says, the reason I'm meeting with you parents is because I won't have problems from my students, because I'll convince them that they need to read. My problems will come from the parents. So I need you to support. I need you to take your children to the museum. I need you to take your children to the library, to the aquarium, and a list of things. He says, I'm investing in your children because I believe they can. So there are wonderful teachers out there. And so we're asking, write a note to the teacher about your child. Talk to your children. Have your children read. Tell your children the importance of becoming great. And teachers and parents together can facilitate that in the lives of their children. The children in the classroom, Dr. Lorraine Monroe said, from the moment a teacher stands in front of a classroom, that teacher will then determine whether those children can learn. Or the children will give permission to the teacher to teach us. Do we really believe that each and every child can learn? Do we really believe that children can reach their highest potential? And if we do, then we will do everything within our power to make sure our children learn. We're looking for teachers. There are teachers out there like Miss Thompson. And we want to celebrate you. And I want to thank you in advance for what you're going to do in the lives of our children. The show is called Our Children. Children, when we give birth to children, you know, many people say, well, they didn't come with an instruction guide. Well, I believe there is one for raising our children. But it's important that we partner with our children. It's important that we tell our children we expect great things from them. It's important for us to say to our children, there is no one like you. You are unique. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. I love you. You are almost like a fish in a fish tank, and we take it out, and that fish is not functioning well because that's not where the fish belongs. But we put that fish back in water, and the genius emerge. Parents and teachers together can bring to light, bring to fruition what we hope, what we expect. Parents and teachers together can make learning fun. We can say, call it crazy math. And by the time a child is, let's say, a 5-year-old, think about it, Bev, they know the words to all the rap songs.
Oh, yeah.
The words you say, what do they say? But they know the words. So why not take that energy and fuel it into making them good students? There's over the summer, my nephew's children came to our home, and Peter, I just think he's the most amazing young man. But Peter's sister, Emily, she does exactly whatever a brother says to do, she does. So I thought, why don't I teach him to memorize certain things? So I was teaching him to memorize certain things. Right. And guess what the 4-year-old did? She started memorizing the very same thing. So we look at math, and a child would say, I don't like math, I can't do math, I don't understand math. Well, put some music in the home and make math fun.
Yes, I agree with that. I do.
So we talk about a little something, a sample that we will do with math, and I just want to show it to you.
Right.
It's 9 times 1. Which camera am I working with?
Straight ahead.
Straight ahead. Okay, 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 2 is 18. But the beautiful thing about 9 times 2 is if you put 1 plus 8, it becomes 9.
Ah.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
9 times 3 is 27.
Two
Just put a plus right there.
Yeah.
2 plus 7 is 9.
Right.
Now, and then if you look at it, you're going down the road. You're going down the line 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the way through. And so this is a fun discovery on a rainy day.
Right.
But if you teach your children math like this and teach them how to memorize it, what will happen is they can come up with different clues as to 6 times tables or 12 times table. Right. 12 twos, 24, and the sequence is right there. 2, 4, 36, 3, 6. So it's 2, 4, 6, all the way down.
Yes.
There are wonderful ways in making our children learn. The question comes, do we really believe they can learn? And if we believe that children are unique and they are dynamically suited for society, if we believe that they can do things that no one else can do, then I ask the question, what are we depositing in the lives of our children? As a mom,
love and encouragement.
Encouragement.
Yeah.
So it's no longer just saying to the child, go sit there and do your homework. It's like, let me learn how it is to do this. I want to work with you. I believe you can do this. When a child walks into school for the first time, in 4 years or 5 years, you know for sure that child would graduate. Who determines whether the child graduates the first in the graduation class, the second, the third? Only that child. But if you were to convince a child that there's nothing impossible for that child to do, then we would expect that. What are we depositing into the lives of our children?
True.
Let's get them reading. Let's get them talking, looking at the news. If they can learn rap songs, or they can learn poetry, they can learn certain things, why not incorporate that into the education? And if we do that, it's almost an endless possibility as to what our children can achieve. Parental engagement is a process. Parent working with that teacher, that homeschool connection, our children, these are our children, knowing that you were born to do something that no one else was born to do. All of your children, they were born to do something that no one else, because they're so unique. So how about if we tap into that and say, I believe you can do. My son Paul told me, my kids are in college and out of college. My son Paul told me, he says, do not stifle don't be afraid of my genius, Mom. Just nurture it. So I'm saying, you got an opportunity to do this job, why don't you just do it? He said, Mom, there's something else out there for me right now. And I'm saying, son, he says, Mom, just encourage my genius, celebrate my genius. You know, nurture my genius. How do we nurture? How do we nurture our children's genius? How do we celebrate our children? I mean,
I understand what you're saying, because sometimes we make the mistake of holding them back. And sometimes we have to let them go.
And you know, sometimes it may be getting our children tested for gifted programs. It may be also talking to our children. What I've done, Dr. Martin Luther King says, I got a dream, I have a dream. What I've done in my home is I create a dream wall for my children. And for the first grade, and this is for first graders, you say something while I pull my...
Okay.
Okay, for the first grade, I'll just have my kids do a dream. A dream that one day I will be, whatever, just let them talk, what it is they may want to be when they grow up.
I'll tell you something I've said before on this show about if a child wants to say something to you, don't ignore them, especially the little ones, especially. Don't push them aside, because they might have a question that need answered, or they may have an idea. And you have to listen to them and encourage them to speak up, so you'll know what's in on their minds and in their heads.
Absolutely.
You know?
Someone told me they knew we were doing the program today about our children. And he said to me, he was there a couple of weeks ago when the mom threw the baby out of the window. And so I said, do you want to come and talk about it? And he says, well, what do we do after we finish talking about it? Where are the changes? How do we value our children? 9/11 came. Did we talk to our children about that? Did we talk to our children about death? Did we talk to them about going to college? What is it that we're doing for our children? And you may see a mom that would say to a child, I don't want you to hang out with this person, that person, and never telling the child why. When a mom can say, well, I don't want you to hang out with Denise or Deborah or Travis or Philip. Because when I was your age, I hung out with my friends and I thought I was so smart, and I turned out to be. And so I didn't finish the 5th grade or 9th grade or whatever the parent might say. If you can talk to your children and not yell at them. If you can just reason with them, the good book, the Bible says, Jesus Christ says, come together, let's reason together. And so when we tell our children, come together, let's reason, let's talk, let's share, let's make a difference. School has just started. We may want to go on the State of Education website and grab some material for our children. Take our children to the museum. it's almost limitless as to what we can do because our children will grow up so quickly.
Yes.
And when you look at a child, let's say a child is, let's say a child is in the 9th grade.
Yeah.
And this is where we're going to do a little crazy math. The child's in the 9th grade.
Okay, and before you finish that, we have about 3 minutes. So
3 minutes for what? A commercial break?
Yeah, then we'll have a commercial break, and we're going to do part 2.
Are you serious? Are we that?
Yes, we talked that long and that good. It was so interesting. Denise, thank you so much for your plans, and you have everything all mapped out. And I appreciate your expertise.
I thank you so much.
But we're going to continue this.
I look forward.
Yes, we're going to continue this and come back with some more.
I certainly will. I certainly will. Thank you so much, Miss Beth.
And thank you for listening to our children and our wonderful guest, Denise Gordon.
Thank you.
And she will be back. With or without me.
Well, I want to be back with you because I love talking to you.
Okay,
and there's so much that you're pouring into it because it makes a difference that our parents can do the job that's intended for them to do.
Yes. So stay tuned.
God bless.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
God bless. That was quick, huh? It went by quickly.
You say we finished a half of the 28 minutes?